This is my bf109 from Park Zone, which has a full custom paint scheme, which I did with my airbrush. I made it look as realistic as I possibly can. It has an upgraded speed controller. I fly it on a 4-cell, 14.8 volt. I'm running with an FMS 3-bladed prop, which seems to work great on this plane, better than stock. It's a little more sturdy. It doesn't flex at high RPMs. The crosses and the markings are all hand painted. I did everything with the weathering, tried to make it look as detailed as I possibly could. As you can see, I did the weathering on there. I might add, I noticed on some Messerschmitt G models they had a machine gun mounted right here. The book that I used to go and buy paint schemes is this book right here. It's a really good book. I got it off Amazon. It was like 15-16 bucks. It shows you everything from the different colors that they used, right to the actual real paint schemes. It's all authentic. There's the paint scheme I went with. I didn't like the white lines right here, so I just didn't do those. But I used the exact colors. I matched them with the Tamiya actual model paint I bought from my local hobby shop. It's got everything in here, all the different paint schemes you can go by. It's a very good detailed book if you're looking to do custom work on any Messerschmitt G model. I'm going to show you the split flaps. It's got full working split flaps, which I do plan on putting a servo slower on there, speed slower, at some point. Everything works flawlessly. It's got many flights on the new upgrades. And it has retracts, which are the ones from E-Flight, the GFL 100s, I believe the part number. I bought those from my local hobby shop as well. They work pretty close to flawlessly. Never had a problem with them. I moved it around a little bit so you can get a better view. What I've done also is I made a little makeshift, there's an antenna behind the cockpit, the circle one, and the real ones had that. On the late models had it, if you can see it behind the vertical antenna. I also made the one underneath. There's also a little antenna there, which that's all I did was cut a piece of plastic. It's pretty flexible, so you can still belly land it and it won't break. I belly landed this plane quite often, even though it has full working landing gear. I just like to belly land it in the grass because sometimes the grass is too long. Full exhaust. Burn on the fuselage, I did with my airbrush. And as far as the other weathering goes on the underbottom, and there is the underbelly. It's all the weathering. Under markings, which are all hand painted like the other ones. It's a pretty good flying aircraft. As you can see, I measured accordingly, exactly to scale from the book of how the landing gear doors and the inner wheel wells go. I notice a lot of people, when they do it, they're not exact. I like to be authentic with my aircraft. I've been doing this for quite a long time. As you can see, when I installed this, you can kind of see I used wood inside to make mounts. Epoxied everything in so I can drill them, and I can also still take the struts out by unscrewing them from the main wooden brackets I made out of plywood. I also reinforced a lot of it with epoxy, and then I just painted over it with the dark gray. I had some issues with the wing being thin in the inner wheel well in these areas. It's kind of thin, so I had to kind of reinforce it because it'd be easy to something for it to poke through it to go to the upper top of the wing. There's my setup for the flaps, the split flaps, which was kind of a pain to get it to work right, but I got it to work. That right there with the white, which is unpainted because I had to recently do some adjustments to the servo. That's just like a piece of cutout foam. I also reinforced the wing because this plane flies quite fast with the upgraded prop, speed controller, and the 4-cell. I'm running it on a stock motor. It does pretty well. I had to reinforce the wing with a carbon fiber spar, which you can see the slice in the wing. It goes all the way across, and it's pretty strong, but if I go high speed and do turns with it, it still does slightly notice some flexing with the wing, which isn't too big of a deal. I might add some in the fuselage in this area going back. I notice that sometimes it seems to be a little weak. It's a great plane. I like it a lot. Hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions about the build, you can message me on my YouTube page.